Hey guys, this is Polar, and I am back with another episode with Speculum Mors. This is the second episode, and we are going to start this off with some asset creation on 3ds Max 2011, I believe this version is. I have a few different versions. I believe 2011 is the most recent one I got. So anyway, yeah, we were just modeling the tombstones, one of them. Basically, there's different ways you can do this. If you're a 3D artist, there's multitudes of ways to do it. For me, we have to keep in mind we're using this for asset creation for video games, so performance will always be an issue. So as little to no polygon, well, there's going to be some polygons, but as less polygons the better for us. And we will still get a lot of detail once we take it over to another application called ZBrush. And ZBrush is basically going to allow us to make we're going to poly paint with ZBrush later on. And boy, what am I trying to say here? We're going to poly paint with ZBrush later on, and we're also going to add detail to this mesh using a bump map or height map or whatever you want to call it. You know, using ZBrush, because it is, I'm going to say, probably one of the most effective tools you want if you want to get into really detailed asset creation for video game development. Not to mention similar programs such as Mudbox. It's a lot cheaper. It integrates with a lot of your bigger programs such as 3ds Max and Maya really easily. And it is, I have nothing but good things to say about ZBrush if you're going to be a 3D artist, especially for game development, because there's just so much tools that help you that are just pretty much in the program already. But as you can see, we're just doing just slight detail work with this one headstone, and we're just going to keep it real simple. And we're going to get over to the level design aspect real quick. And basically over here with the level design, we're doing texture painting of the environment. I believe at this point we have already laid out like grass and kind of like a cliff face for the mountains. And what I'm doing now is trying to break up that pattern for the cliff environment, because the cliffs and the mountains are going to be in the distance, and as you can see, when you're viewing these mountains up close, they look great. The materials for the mountains, everything looks great up close. But as you can see, when you look at it from a distance, if you look closely, you could see the tieable texture in the materials. And basically, what I'm doing is I'm adding another material over it, a third material, because we have a grass which is going to be kind of like laying over the flatlands. You have the rocky cliff face, which is going to lay over the more vertical parts of the level, you know, to represent the mountains and the rocks. And then to help break up the cliff material so it doesn't look too much like a tieable texture, I've added another material which kind of goes over the base a little bit, over the cliff face material. So as you can see over here, you notice it looks really tiled, looks too uniform, the material itself. And I'm just doing one thing to help break it up a little bit, because the player will not be up close to these mountains. He's going to be viewing them from a distance. So basically, I'm just trying to break up that tieable texture pattern a little bit. And basically, what I'm trying to do is, how can I explain it? As I said before in the previous video, I want these mountains to feel like, you know, teeth, very sharp, very jagged, and it's kind of a sad story, but I took my dog to the vet today, and she's okay. But if you notice her teeth, you know, sometimes like you know, they get a little tartar buildup kind of at the base of their teeth a little bit, and I kind of want to give it that effect. Where, you know, wild animals, they usually have sharp teeth and a little bit of grime built up near the base of it. So basically, I set this material to go at a certain angle, and it'll cover everything at that angle, so it's not like it just paints everything, and it gives it a little more realistic detail, and it's pretty easy to do in CryEngine 3. But if you notice, I have actually quite a few texture materials. If you look at the lower right hand side of the screen, I have various materials for, like, say, because there's going to be a lake in the level, like, say, for instance, for like the beach aspect, the coastline, I have a material for that. I have another material which we're going to use to create kind of like the swamp area. I have a material which is going to be kind of, you know, as we said before, the cliff face and the grass. And I'm also probably going to bring in another material for the stream or river, which we will be having go through part of the level where the player will actually cross over. He won't necessarily interact with it. I might have a part where he can walk through it if he wants to, but we'll have a bridge so they can cross over it. But, you know, in this level, if the player wants to get wet, we have included the swamp area, which he'll probably tread through some of it. You know, we'll make it look all murky and kind of creepy. You know, get this ready for Halloween, because basically that's what we're doing, is we're making this level for Halloween. And as you can see right now, we are messing with the material editor in CryEngine 3. I actually going to have quite a few materials set up for this level. We're going to have the cliffs, the grass, which you've already seen, plus a little detailing for the cliffs to help break it up a little bit. But also we're going to have like material for like the beach area for the lake, and also for the swamp area. And basically this is what we're going to be seeing now, is me just going through and picking various materials and colors and all this jazz to help lay down the base of the swamp area of this level. And as you're going to see too, is I'm going to pick some colors and some parameters, and they're not going to work, but I think that's a lot of the detail work. You know, you try something out and either it works or it doesn't. If it doesn't work, you go back and you mess with it, you tweak it a little bit, and you get it to where it does work. And also I'm doing this level at nighttime, because this is basically, as a player is going to go through playing this level at night. It's not going to be like the last level where it transitioned from day to night. I need to see how this level will look at nighttime. As you can see right there, that's too dark, so I'm going to tweak the parameters a bit to lighten it up. I'm sure if it was maybe like afternoon in this level, you would be able to notice it, the material a little bit more, but it is not. It's going to be at night, so we have to adjust it as so. But you know, like, that's one thing I'm going to say CryEngine 3 did really well, as far as if you're going to make an outdoor level, setting up the terrain and terrain materials. They set it up pretty. It's pretty hard to not get it right the first few times after messing with it. I must say I am pretty impressed. So like, we almost got it. I think that might be a little too bright for that material. And just keep in mind, you know, we still haven't laid down the vegetation. I don't know how many people remember the movie John Carpenter did. I think it was a real late 70s, real early 80s Swamp Thing, based on the comic book character. You know, we're going to lay down some vegetation, like some tree trunks and stuff sticking out of the ground, and maybe add a little bit of a fog volume to add a little bit more to the creep factor. But I will end this video now, as we are coming to a close, and I definitely hope you check back and see how we update this level in the future. So for now, I say goodbye, and we'll see you again real soon.